So we already shot the episode, which is about to happen, but before we put it out, we crossed a pretty big milestone, which that milestone is hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Girl.
I know, girl.
What?
Girl.
Girl. You hit it?
Girl.
I hit it.
What? So we wanted to shoot this real quick to tag it onto the episode just to thank you guys for helping us hit this huge milestone.
1 million.
So thank you to everyone who has supported us and followed us, watched the show, been a part of the community, and every single one of our subscribers. It's a really big point for us, very encouraging, and we're excited to do a lot more, a lot bigger, and a lot better next year and the years to come. What's happening? Why are you?
We did it!
So today's episode won't have anything to do with the 1 million subscribers. It's just a normal episode, but come Monday, we're going to do a small celebration where we're going to show you guys an episode of Making the Film. That is the show that we had out before FilmRiot existed that you guys have asked a ton to see when we talk about it, but I had no intention to ever put it out because frankly, it's embarrassing. It's really, really bad. But we're gonna watch it and make fun of ourselves. It should be fun. But now, on to the regular episode. Welcome to FilmRiot, the show that takes mystery out of the effects and techniques sequence from your favorite Hollywood films. I'm your host, Ryan Conley, and if you glanced at the runtime of this episode, you'll notice that it's a bit shorter than usual, and that's because we're shortening the episodes during the holidays to help take some of the strain off so we can try to spend a little more time with the family, since as I say often here, nothing is more important than that. But now on to some Star Wars loving. Since Rogue One is now out and we're all kinds of excited to see it, we decided to throw a Death Star up into the sky outside of our office because why not? And this is a crazy simple effect which we are doing in my compositor of choice, Adobe After Effects, but like usual, you can take these same ideas and techniques and do them in pretty much any software. Of course, before we can do any comping, we have to track our shot first. In our case, we use the track camera right inside of Adobe After Effects, which worked out nicely. And as you can see, we have this flat and blown out cloud sky situation happening, which was a bummer for the shot, but it did accidentally act as a luma mat that we were able to use by messing with levels. So that was helpful, but we'll get into that in a second. Now with our shot tracked, you're going to want to grab a photo of the Death Star and turn it into a 3D layer. Now, the trick with this shot and any matte shot really is that the object has to basically be back in infinity. If it's too close to the camera, it's going to be bouncing around and look like a card floating out in the foreground. So drag that object as far back as you can and scale it up. While positioning, a tip here is to right click on the layer, click transform, auto orient, orient to camera if you're having parallax problems. We didn't need it in this case, but it still helps. But now we need to actually integrate this into the scene, which is easier than you'd think, because remember, this thing is supposed to be in space, which means we're looking at it through an atmosphere. For example, this is the moon during the day, and this is what the moon actually looks like with the color enhanced. So basically, we're just going to suck out most of its color. For this, we'll use Color Matcher as a quick way to match the environment of your scene. You can just desaturate and change the hue, but this was just a little faster. Then add a camera lens blur to match the camera's farthest blur point, and of course, turn on motion blur. Lastly, even though this image has light and depth already, it still looks a bit flat. To fix this, we're gonna fake depth. First, we'll mask the bottom for ground atmosphere, and then the side that we want to appear farther away for distance fog. And just to see, here are the mask shapes. You can see how large they are. Then we turn them on and add our feathering. Next, we'll use the sky to create a luma mat. Just like we've shown before in the show, we just desaturate the image and then play with the levels to squeeze out the sky and the ground. Then we just switch our Death Star layer to luma mat, and there you go. Now we turn off the background plate, then pre-comp this entire shot. After that, and with your plate as the bottom layer, we'll do a secondary correction. We lower the opacity of the Death Star to around 75%, and then added curves to lift the shadows. And we're done. And although we did this with the Death Star, you really can't swap that out for anything else that would make sense, like the moon, or an alien spaceship, or maybe someone's face.
Josh?
Eris, you have forgotten me.
No! How could I?
You have forgotten who you are, and so forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Eris. You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life.
How could I go back? I'm not who I used to be.
Remember who you are. You are my son, and the one true king. Remember who you are. Remember.
No! Please! Don't leave me! Josh! Don't leave me.
But there you go, some Death Star action. Now to do the X-Wing, we just used Element 3D right inside of After Effects, and the model came from Andrew Kramer's Star Pack, which is a pack of 3D models inspired by Star Wars. You get BB-8, lightsabers, a bunch of corridors, all really high quality and completely free. You can find a link to that in the notes below. There's nothing more discouraging than having a pile of overdue paperwork just sitting there staring at you while you're trying to work or do anything you enjoy at all. Well, our friends at FreshBooks have just launched an all-new version of their cloud accounting software that will give you more time to do what you love and not feel discouraged by the paperwork demon. FreshBooks has been redesigned from the ground up and custom built for the way that you work. It's the easiest way to be more productive, organized, and more importantly, get paid quickly. The all-new FreshBooks is not only ridiculously easy to use, it's also packed full of powerful features. You can create and send professional-looking invoices in less than 30 seconds, set up online payments with just a couple of clicks, and get paid 4 times faster. See when your client has seen your invoice and put an end to the guessing games. Right now, FreshBooks is offering a 30-day unrestricted free trial to FilmRioters. To claim it, just go to freshbooks.com/FilmRiot and enter FilmRiot in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
Logo.
And that's it, adding a Death Star into your scene and a great free Star Wars model pack, which you can find a link for in the notes below. And as always, you can find me on the Twitters right here. And if you want to keep up with the new videos we post, even though you're subscribed, you won't get notified all the time unless you go to our page here and click the bell right here and check to be notified, because YouTube. But that's it, and I'll see you all next week when I use 2 strands of hair and a bowstring to restring my guitar.